Hey guys, what's up? It's Zamara, and today I bring finally my thoughts on X Men The Last Stand, which I watched 2 nights ago, but the disease of laziness took over, and therefore only today did I get to filming my thoughts. So, anyway, let's dive into it. So, of course, the very first problem that I had with this movie is that, as you know, the X Men still haven't gotten their time to shine, and like always, I have a bias because Cyclops is my favorite character overall, but I do love Wolverine as well. But I grew up loving Cyclops, so I'm gonna stick to him. He got like killed off in the beginning of the movie. He was just such an useless character. Like all he did was just cry, and I understand that he's in his stages of grief, but we're talking about this was X-Men. They were trying to say that this was how the chapter concluded, and he was just getting killed. Like I had such a big problem with that. It's just I guess it wouldn't have bothered me for him to die if it hadn't happened so soon and so stupidly. You know what I'm saying? I know that the Phoenix is no force to like play around with, but I mean, please. Also, Rogue is still this badass mutant based on the comics and even the animated series that they had. But somehow in the cinematic universe, they cannot make her be a good character. Instead, she's this character who's like, oh, I just want to be able to touch someone and kiss them and get laid with them. And I mean, I get it. You have emotions and feelings and necessities that you want to have fulfilled, but can you not give this girl a movie where she uses her powers in an impressive manner? Is that too much to ask? Apparently so. Also, the way that this is just a detail about the movie itself, I guess, but the way that Professor X ages in these movies, or his aging gets reversed. Like that scene where they visit Jean when she's a kid, so it says 20 years ago. Um, and you look at Professor X looking exactly the same. I just want to know, when did he start looking like Patrick Stewart, Charles Xavier, But now that we have First Class, which came out after this movie, I'm at a conflict because I'm like, it is possible to have a young, bald Professor X, but, supposedly Apocalypse is who got him bald, but in the animated series, he had been bald, you know? So I guess the events happen at a different time period. Another thing is, oh, this is the worst. That so-called classification of mutants, like, oh, this is a, what do they call them? A class 5 mutant. This is a class 3, and the only one I've encountered is Jean Grey. She's class 5. Never in the history of the X-Men movies had they talked about mutant classes. Like, not even societies classes, as in you got the upper class, the middle class, and all that. Not even that had been presented. That's implied, of course, and it's irrelevant. But, where did these classes come from? It just annoys me because you cannot just bring something into the table and expect for the audience to be happy with it if we've never heard of it before. It just seems like something they pulled out of the rear. Also, Professor X's powers. It's like he conveniently senses stuff, but doesn't really do anything about it. And one specific part is like he was telling Logan, "What did you do?" When supposedly because of Logan, Jean Grey woke up at the mansion, and Professor X's little helmet thing was keeping her at bay, right? It's like you couldn't sense that Logan was about to do something stupid and stop him. Like, you can always speak to them telepathically. Why couldn't you do it this time and prevent a load of disaster, you know? And like he could also tell when for the folks to go to Alkali Lake, but he couldn't tell when the mansion was being ripped apart in the medical center. You know, I had a problem with Professor X in this movie. I really did. And then the last thing I could think of was, yeah, that stupid romance between Wolverine and Jean Grey. I don't read the comics, so maybe this has happened in the comics. I don't know. But he became stupid in this movie for, you know, having those feelings for Jean, and then suddenly it's like the little bit of rationality that he had was gone. I had a problem with that. It's like seeing love in movies sometimes bothers me. But in this case particularly, when this guy is also not known for forming attachments like that, I had an issue with that. So I don't know, you guys. That is all that I could come up with really as I watched this movie. Um, this is what makes this movie horrible for me. So what are your thoughts? I know this movie is like 2006 ish. Nobody wants to talk about it. I don't blame you. But I revisited it because since I saw Logan, it's like I just want to see more of Hugh Jackman again to admire him. Um, Even though this movie doesn't do him much good. But yeah, you guys, what are your thoughts? What did you think about this movie? What did you hate about it? What did you like about it? I mean, it's possible that you liked something in it. Like always, let me know in the comments below. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. And thanks for tuning in. I will see you soon.